What's going on, world? Thank you so much for tuning back into another one of my videos. My name is Jay Elu, and I know exactly why you clicked on this video today. You're either tired of losing and you're ready for a change, or you finally came to the realization there's a lot more to the markets than just trading and investing, and you're ready to let the abundance flow. And that's why I'm here to tell you that the market isn't your enemy. And what you could really be fighting against is your mind. The thing is, most people think that investing is about mastering the market and figuring out how to beat it. But in reality, it's about mastering your current situation and not letting anxiety dictate your decisions, but using anxiety as a tool for your benefit and as a guiding force for decisions that you should make. Overall, the market just reflects exactly what's going on inside of you. And let me paint the picture for you really quick. The market is like an ocean. It's massive and it has its own rhythm that's outside of our control. As a retail trader, there's only so much you can do to manipulate the waves and the motion of the ocean. And if you're swimming in the ocean, the best thing you could do is use the currents and the momentum of it to carry you to places where you're trying to go. Just like in the market, there's trillions of dollars flowing on a daily basis, and our little retail dollars won't affect the waves and the motion of the market. The best thing we can do is accept it for exactly what it's doing and use it to our advantage. And when you are in the ocean, you have to realize how good of a swimmer you are, what tools you have at your disposal, and how you could use them in order to use the ocean for your benefit. But the number one biggest lie about investing is that people believe it's all about the charts, indicators, and news. I'll also throw in there timing tops and bottoms. But in reality, investing is a psychological mirror. The market exposes fear, greed, and ego. Because as we all know, the market goes up and it goes down. And we all have had instances where frustration has built up so badly because all of the indicators, all the charts, all the news events pointed to a certain direction that would favor our trade or our investment strategy, just for it to go against us. But in all those instances, there were millions of people that still made millions of dollars on it, believe it or not, because two people could take the same exact trade and experience two different results. One person could be thinking in minutes while the other person's thinking in years. And I know most of us are very guilty for thinking in minutes because we all want the money fast. But the reality is there are certain people who are afforded the opportunity to think in minutes while others of us have to think in years, because time, though we all have exposure to it, the ability to manipulate it in your favor in terms of minutes when it comes to the market is for those that could afford it. Not everybody could jump into the market and think that they could go make millions of dollars on the minute time frame. You have to have a certain account size to do it safely. Yes, many people get lucky. You hear the stories here and there of people striking gold and changing their life in the course of a minute. But the sad reality is that for most of us, we have to think on a larger time frame, because a 1% drawdown in an account that has $1,000 is a lot different than an account that has $1 million. And though that percentage may be the same in terms of balancing your accounts, depending on the output you're looking to receive could dramatically change your psychology and the results that you get. Because those of us that start off trading with $1,000 in our account, we all want to figure out how to turn that 1,000 into $1 million. While that person with $1 million in their account is thinking more about wealth preservation and may not be looking to flip that 1 million to 100 million, but might ask themselves, how can I use this million to make 1,000 a day, or maybe even 10,000 a day? That's a way different mindset than somebody who's aggressively trying to trade and taking the biggest risks possible in order to flip an account. And you have to remember, unless if you're the 1% of the 1%, the market just isn't kind to those of us who are aggressively trying to trade and flip accounts aggressively. And those of you who were around all of last year, seeing how many people get wiped out, especially when it came to leverage trading. So we have to be smart and recognize what exactly we have at our possession, how much our assets are worth, how much cash we have on hand, how much time we have available. Also energy that you could put into potentially getting another job, doing another side gig, or starting another business for extra income. Because through this, not only will you learn a lot about life, but you'll also learn a lot about yourself. You'll start to recalibrate everything around you. You'll start to look at things as opportunities and liabilities, and you'll really start to be able to label the different parts of your life and put them in different places so you could achieve your goal in the most efficient way possible. So you have to realize trading is a game against yourself. You aren't competing against whales, hedge funds, or bots. You're competing with your FOMO and your need to be right. Realize that you're really competing against time and trying to get your current status to align with your goals and dreams. But lock into understanding that only time and discipline practices are the two main factors that will help you safely achieve those goals and dreams. So master your current situation. Be truthful with yourself and realize what it is you actually have and what you don't have. Be realistic with the goals and dreams you have. Learn to detach your emotions from the good and the bad, and realize that the ocean is going to move whether we're part of it or not. And it doesn't matter how good of a day I'm having or how bad of a day I'm having. It's ultimately going to do exactly what the forces that are greater than our understanding and our ability to manipulate will have it do. So please just stop. Take a second right here and just pause. Take this time to recalibrate and forget about those bad trades you had. Forget about the good trades you had. And just take this moment to just realign and realize exactly where you are right now and exactly what you're working with. We have to stop failing because we aren't locked into the present and to what actually is, but failing because we're trying to tap into what we want to see and to what's not actually there. Yes, it's great to have goals and dreams of things you want to achieve, but there's a reason why so many people fail at this thing called trading and investing. And that reason is simply because those goals and dreams that many of us set for ourselves just isn't realistic. We are trying to swim against the current only to keep getting wiped out and pushed into the direction that the market is ultimately trying to take us in the first place. Why not use it to our advantage? Believe it or not, there's a certain level of abundance that you possess right now. But the problem for many of us is that our presence is elsewhere and it's not tapped into the right now. And yes, I know many of us are in a lot of bad situations, especially when we compare it to other people's situations and we're scrolling through Instagram and we're seeing people's highlight reels of their life when we truly don't know exactly how they got there in the first place. But no matter how bad your situation seems, there is something you could do right now that's going to take you a step further than you were yesterday. But you have to realize where that abundance lays within you today. So let's start becoming the master of our current situation. Let's start putting some tangibles on the decisions we make on a daily basis. Know your capital size, know your risk tolerance, and know your time horizon. Because there's no shame in smaller positions, slower progress, and learning in phases. We are all on our own individual journeys, and all we have to do is just tap into the abundance that's around us on a daily basis. Master exactly what you're investing in. Don't just roll the dice on a daily basis and hope that you're going to get lucky and strike gold, but actually research in projects and into companies that you truly believe in and that you see a future in. Learn to cast a semi-wide net and dig as deep as possible. Because once you start mastering these things, you start to understand anxiety and the fear that overcomes you when you're making some of these decisions. Because something amazing happens when you start to master your current situation. You start to look at fear and anxiety differently. Because the person that lives in fear on a daily basis uses anxiety as a guiding force. Anxiety becomes their North Star on what to do and what not to do. But the person that works on self-mastery realizes that anxiety becomes a signal to guide you when you're doing something right and doing something wrong. And yes, there's different levels to it because many of us experience it when we're looking to break barriers and to avoid trouble. But the beauty comes when you're so confident in your purpose and the plan that you have set for yourself. And specifically when it comes to investing, anxiety and fear can be a key indicator of when you overreach and overstretch yourself into things that you're not supposed to be doing. To the disciplined investor, it doesn't matter if the market's going up or going down because they set a plan for themselves and they know exactly what they're in for. The disciplined investor understands that if it were to all go to zero, that is something that they plan for. If they experience a certain number of drawdown, it's something that they plan for. If they exit at a certain point, it's something that they plan for. Likewise, when the price is going up and targets are being hit, it's something that they plan for. The minute we step out of that and just cross our fingers and hope that we go to the moon, that's where that fear and anxiety starts kicking in. So learn to detach your emotions when it comes to investing by making disciplined and calculated decisions that were made from a grounded, stable place. Learn to build a mindset that accepts uncertainty and respects probability. You yourself don't identify with the outcomes, whether it be good or bad. Just think of them as events, and I'm balanced either way because I understand the plan that I had set forth prior to those events happening in the first place. Because when you do this, you possess the full ability to embrace your current situation and make the most out of every opportunity and every situation that you are given. You learn to recognize the abundance that you currently have, whether it be time, your energy, your resources. You're able to pick and choose how you can reallocate things and place them exactly where you need them in order to flourish and to achieve the goals that you want out of life. Because the truth is, we are all abundant beings. The only thing that separates us from achieving it is our ability to tap into it at any given moment. And it's just like a muscle. The more you practice it, the better you become at it, the more it sticks, and it just becomes second nature. It's like the infant that's learning how to walk. Those first few times that baby falls, it hurts, it cries. But what ends up happening over time? They start walking, they start running to the point where they don't even remember the few times that they fell because they're so far ahead. So the same thing happens with our ability to tap into the present moment. The first few times is super tough. Yes, there's a lot going on in our personal lives. And when we look at the macro, there is a heavy energy all around us. But like I always say, for every given moment, the glass is always half full and always half empty. The thing that separates us is our attention and how we choose to perceive that current experience. So do exactly what you have to do to tap into that current moment, whether it be meditation, whether it be praying, exercising, whatever it is that you do, go ahead and tap into that. Tap into those things and do what you have to do to experience that feeling of gratitude. When you're truly grateful, that feeling hits a little different and it does something to your day. So do exactly or whatever it is you have to do to tap into that. And that was your message for today, guys. And if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and give yourselves a round of applause, because that means you're serious about becoming a better person. Not only in investing, I know that a lot of my content is based off making money and learning how to become a disciplined investor, but a lot of the stuff I say and the older and wiser that I'm getting, I'm realizing are just principles of life. The more that I'm learning these things, the easier and the better my life has been getting. Not only from a monetary standpoint, but from an energetic standpoint. Not only from the way I interact with the world, but also with how the world interacts with me. I now realize that my mindset is everything. And I choose to be intentional with every decision that I make, with every moment that I experience. And I choose to make the best of it at all times. So thank you for making it to the end of this video. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you got value from this. And also check my page out. There's a lot of other content on there that I think you could get a lot of value from. Go ahead and tap in. My name is Jay Elu. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.